Hi, thank you for watching today's video. Today's episode of Co-Parenting Should Be Easy. We are going to discuss Narcissistic Parental Alienation Syndrome. So what is Narcissistic Parental Alienation Syndrome? This is also called PAS, but it occurs when one parent coercively tries to alienate their child from an otherwise loving parent. And this is only applicable if the parent is a good parent, does nothing wrong, is there for their child, always picks them up from school, communicates everything. But the other parent, the alienating parent, has ill wishes or ill feelings towards the good parent, and they can't get over the breakup. They're still jealous, they're envious, they have narcissistic or some mental behaviors involved there. Sometimes there are psychotic issues. This manipulation then results in the child's dislike or alienation of that parent. This term was first coined in 1980s when Richard Gardner began noticing behavior during child custody disputes. Gardner found that one parent would purposefully program or brainwash the child with certain ideas and attitudes about the other parent. That's exactly what this type of behavior is. So basically telling your child, oh, that person's crazy. You shouldn't listen to their rules. My rules are better. Oh, he doesn't love you or she doesn't love you. Anything like that. That is getting your child to not respect you, not like you, act out, misbehave in any way, shape, or form. Even when these ideas were at odds with the child's actual experiences. And this puts child in what they call cognitive dissonance. And this means that you have two contradicting beliefs or morals that are fighting with each other. So it's basically very confusing to a child to grow up in a household where they see that both parents love them and give them attention, feed them, clothe them, bathe them, all of it. And yet you have one parent or both parents talking ill about the other parent. That is the most common form of parental alienation that the courts are starting to see or have seen for a really long time. Just didn't know either what it was or how to process it, what test to put in place. And for the longest time, it was coined as child abuse and not necessarily parental alienation as we call it today. Sometimes the children actually join in vilifying the other parent, targeted parent. And then those behaviors are reinforced by rewards from the alienating parent. Narcissistic parental brainwashing occurs when a parent with narcissistic tendencies psychologically manipulates the child into thinking false narratives about the other parent. This could entail painting the other parent as dangerous, unloving, unintelligent, or somehow not good for the child in any way, shape, or form. Many PAS children respond to this programming in such a way that they seem to completely forget or suppress any positive feelings or experiences that they've had with the targeted parent. So they'll push all of these things down and basically give into the brainwashing. And you can prevent this by reinforcing good memories and positive behaviors with your children. The more time that you spend with your targeted child or your children involved in this type of situation, the more that you can reinforce good memories of yourself instead of reinforcing negative. Some of the warning signs of this narcissistic parental alienation syndrome. Unjustified or irrational campaign to vilify a loving parent. Child's extreme idealization of one parent over the other. a black and white thinking, vilification of the targeted parent's entire friends and family, support of the child's negative actions and attitudes towards the targeted parent, denial of guilt or lack of empathy over the cruel treatment towards the targeted parent. The child's own opinions are highly empathized by the manipulative parent, and the child uses the same tone that the narcissistic parent does. Here are some examples. Offending parent purposefully interferes with the targeted parent's time with the child. The offending parent tells the child the other parent isn't interested in your life. The offending parent is uncompromising regarding the parenting schedule. Like, you ask to switch custody days because you have an important doctor appointment on Wednesday, but the other parent refuses to compromise, causing you to miss a day with your child. The offending parent consistently talks badly about the other parent. The offending parent rewards this bad behavior or rewards the child for talking badly about the parent with them. The offending parent acts hurt when the parent or the child is kind to the targeted parent. So if the offending parent or a parent ever gets upset that your child is loving or kind towards another parent, that's a major red flag. Offending parents would rather harm the child. Offending parent would rather harm the child than benefit the targeted parent. The parent refuses to let your child go on a fun trip with you for nonsensical reasons, is a good example of that. And this makes the child feel like they have to choose between parents. This is where that cognitive dissonance comes in. What causes narcissistic parental alienation? Evidence suggests that parental alienation often occurs in a very tense and volatile separations or divorces, aka high conflict situations. If you have a very hostile divorce or breakup and you have children, this could lead to a high conflict co-parenting situation. That's what my channel is about. High conflict co-parenting situations do not benefit the children, and the good parent, as they say, has to work very hard to undo all of the harm that the other parent has caused. So these type of parents tend to focus on winning instead of benefiting the children. They see everything as a fight. They see everything as an argument. Here's an example of conflict co-parenting situations, or any situation revolving the children where one party or both parties are not able to communicate, cooperate, or co-parent in the best interest of the children. When it looks like one party, it's almost in every situation that I've encountered, one party did not want to break up, and they are jealous, they are envious, they lack emotional control and emotional intelligence and accountability, and a lot of narcissistic behaviors do shine through in these situations. Now, if you are in a high conflict co-parenting situation, you understand that situations like this are more likely to occur, and you have to combat it every time you get your children back from the other parent. This is never easy to handle or deal with. Right now, a lot of the courts do not recognize high conflict co-parenting situations. They should, though, because this type of situation has been going on since divorce was going on. And so this situation has been going on since divorces became a lot more common, especially in the 80s until now. I want to say late 70s, early 80s until now. Now, what happened was, in the past, the mothers would most likely get the children, especially before the 60s. The mothers would always get the children, and then the men would go their separate ways. They would remarry. They would have more children, and so would the women. And then the men would pick up the slack for the women's children and the new children involved. Well, in today's society, no longer want to do that. And that wasn't common, or that wasn't the case in every situation in the past either, but it was pretty common. Now we are in situations where we are not getting married, we are splitting up, and there sometimes is a lot of feelings involved in that. So in the past, the woman would get the children a majority of the time. Now, because courts are trying to be more even, they are giving a lot of fathers more chances to get custody and giving them sole custody. However, this is still a fight in most court situations because judges still have biases. Judges are just people. People have biases based on their own personal experience, knowledge, education, surroundings, peers. Growing up, you just obtain different biases about different situations. It's natural. And I understand that judges are supposed to maintain a little even demeanor when it comes to these cases. But I've learned that a lot of judges do not see the case as even. They will look at one party as either the aggressor, or they don't see both sides of the coin as they actually should, and they lean towards one sex or the other. I think that's sexist. I think that we need to base all cases off of what is in that paper. But that takes a lot of time. Family court is a billion-dollar industry, and the more time that you take in the family court system, the more money that they gain. It's a whole corrupt system, and I'm pretty sure I have a video about it, and I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel if I haven't already. Parental alienation is not very fun, and it's not very fair. It has been so uneven, and I strongly believe that we need to hold each party accountable. If one party is an open alcoholic that neglects their children, they shouldn't get the custody that they're asking for without going through some classes or AA or something. And I believe that it should be looked at on a case-by-case basis more closely on what's in the paper. But we should also be more educated as a society on how the family court system works, and how the filing process works, how the fees work, how the lawyers work. Lawyers are super expensive and you can't always afford them. So in my case, I haven't been able to get a lawyer, but the other party has. I was also threatened to pay lawyers' fees for filing papers to move, even though I had a year-long conversation with the other party about moving, and he was okay with it. So there's so much corruption in the family court system that needs to be taken a look at on a way deeper level. Yourself by keeping a journal or a log every time something like this happens. Sometimes it is easier just to keep a journal and then provide that to the court. Every time you have an issue with a co-parent or a child's behavior, my Co-Parenting Should Be Easy podcast. And if you like any of my videos or you get any knowledge or information, please like, share, subscribe, follow, all the good things, and I'll see you in the next one. New podcast is out on Spotify and a couple other platforms. I am looking into getting on every podcast platform, slowly but surely, but actual videos will be on my YouTube channel. Co-Parenting Should Be Easy. Thank you.